My Dysfunctional CIA Family, Part 27. So, I'm back in Cape Coral. We went on a trip to Kissimmee, to Legoland in Disney. My wife and my son were going there. But I'm kind of sick. I've got a cold. They gave it to me on Monday when I was out on the bus. I'd gone out on Sunday, but they gave it to me on Monday. Then on Tuesday, I went around everywhere, and I was slowly getting it. And I did good. And then Wednesday, Thursday, I was just sick. I stayed in bed all day. Now it's Friday, we drove back, and so I've been kind of just sitting around, laying around. And that's on purpose, too. That was probably on the bus. I was in downtown Kissimmee, the old downtown, and rode a bus all the way back. Way out west. Miles. And that's all these videos. I'll be putting some of that stuff up. Okay. So I've been, not just because of my cold, I've been kind of melancholy and kind of feeling sad or melancholy and guilty and stuff about remembering stuff about Carbondale, Illinois. And I had some stuff opposite wrong. And I've never, now I know, and I've never felt melancholy even. I've gone through so much stuff, and then as I'm figuring this stuff out through all these videos, I'm more like on an upswing. But this is kind of sad. So my brother's best friend, like I was saying, like, I won't say just like you guys know that. So he's with the thing, he's within my 6, what that is. Even though I keep it off the other stuff, but it goes with all this stuff. It goes with certain cops and stuff, and it's all the way and different things. And he goes with all the old neighborhood, all the listening devices or their whatevers, all hooked in with that since he's a little kid. And they run him. I don't know. They got something or they did something, but it's hard to say. Damn, they poisoned his dog too. Made his mom do it or something. At the end. And I know they did. Okay, because it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. But my wife, I don't know, she said, see, my brother doesn't hang out with him. I never asked why. So that's that, and I always felt kind of guilty. And my brother and his friends are all 3 years younger than me. So it's also kind of displaced. Like I'd even have him for a friend. They're running him with me for a while, too. Usually it'd be like I'm supposed to suck. They had me going out fishing with him. They were trying to work something. They're trying to run up some... They're going to run up some gay shit, but it doesn't work. And we end up like, there's some weird pressure, and I'm thinking me or something, but I'm like, it's like, get Big Jim Camper. Big Jim. Oh, God, man, we were kids during Big Jim. During the perfect age. Big Jim. Big Jim, like, they made G.I. Joe smaller after a while, and that sucked. But Big Jim was a little bit smaller than G.I. Joe, because he had to have a hang glider. So he has to be a little bit. It might just be 8 to 10, but that's what, or 4 to 5, but that's 4 squared versus 5 squared. So that's 16 versus 25 as far as, wait, no, that'd be cubing it. Oh, Jesus Christ, right? So maybe even just a slight thing. You take the cube, right? But he had a hang glider. I had the hang glider, my brother had the tower, and we do our big gym camper, and cook up some fish. Damn, because his dad had run off when he was 3 or 2. He remembers, and so his moms are stuck in their big fancy house up there. That's another thing. His mom's a thing. What a thing. But all dysfunctional. That's why I was saying they get fucked over, because they run them into the ground or whatever they do. But now I know. But they don't snitch, though. That's not. I'm saying, like, I don't know the cops, but that's like. It's like James Bond, or Joe, or something. Jesus Christ, if you want to, like, what bad is, like, they're grinding us down, wrecking us, and I think he, maybe spiritually even knows or something, in a way, in my family, and then a thing, but it goes to his thing, too. And then, get into detail. So I guess our house, when we first moved in, I was going to turn 6 in October, so it was this summer. And I was 5. My dad tore the whole house apart, probably pulled out all the electrical stuff and redid every wire. I wouldn't be surprised. So you can't plug anything in, or there's just dead wires, and there's just one gets in. And my mom's so damn paranoid anyway. Maybe I'll redo all the phone stuff, any wires. But they have other shit. They probably have some fucking runs right up under, and because they had something good. But see, then when there was a divorce, I guess I was 12, and a divorce, and then the CIA lady. I'm pretty sure it's her. It might have been the other one, but I think it's her. CIA lady helped my mom redo the whole attic, put insulation in the entire attic, so it's her. And that fiberglass. God, I got into some once, and I wouldn't even get near it. And I always felt guilty, because the CIA lady, her Royal Highness, Diane, with like English horseback riding, is like in her dungarees, rolling out insulation. I'm thinking, oh, it's gonna be so itchy. It must get some fiberglass, right? But she's all up in the attic redoing the whole thing with my mom. Pretty sure it's her, not like the other one, Claire, whatever thing. But so the guilt I get, like, is like when I say Dairy Queen and PK's, Pizza King, the bar, that like everything had turned to shit and it's lost. And so when I'm seeing it, my generation too, like 2 years younger, I guess you could remember early the good time. But like I look at everyone's with a group, it's like that's the enemy thing, but it wasn't always lost. It got lost. They got lost. So I'm class of 83 in high school. So if I was class 81 even, that's just the cusp. Because my friend's brother was that. And so I think it used to be all cool. Or different. They had the bikers there. That must have been a real thing. So I felt. And so that's my other friend, that's 3 years younger. His dad was a economic professor, and he was alcoholic. They worked that stuff too. He was adopted too, I heard. So he's like a CIA baby, but he knows. They worked that, and the mom on the Valium and the stuff, they destroyed him. And that's the opposite thing, and that's a way older sister had the horse. And so me and him just happened to run into each other. That's when I fell in the hornet's nest. So him and his sister, that middle older sister that still lived with him, she's the one who worked at Dairy Queen. And I think there's some solid thing that's not the bullshit, not the MI6, what I call. And they get hunted out, and they're just like getting wrecked. You know, and the whole town used to be cool. I think it used to be really, really cool shit. So when you hear all the shit, like I'm thinking Dairy Queen, PKs, and like, it might just be fucking, you know, they have to leave it because it's a university town. You don't have the other stuff. You can't run it heavily with bikers. Like just being there, whatever the hell, or I guess the economics. gets abandoned. But but thinking they have the shit, they're connected to the shit, even if they don't know it. Always, and and the thing, the MI6 thing is always trying to fuck with them and break it, and they do fucking wreck everything. Okay, so I happen to run into that kid, so that's not like no one puts us together, right? And I know I fell into that damn hornet's nest, and how that happened. And so then I end up on my bike or something, probably just like that summer, a little bit later, and run into that kid because he's hanging around, so I start playing with him. And maybe they're setting it up too, but that's not, it's kind of natural. And so then we start playing out in the field. It's a big field behind their house, and it connects to all these houses and gardens, and you have line of sight everywhere. And it's a giant, huge field. It covers several blocks, and then now they developed it. But you had the sewer pipes that probably go through there, and everything had been, and there's a few woods in it, like the stand of woods. It's kind of like a hammock in the Everglades. There's like 2 or 3 of them, and one of them's really fancy because they had taken all the logs to the trees and piled them up there. There's all the really cool insects and beetles that would eat the wood. So that's that, and there could be something in there. That's where I'd fill in the hornets. So we started collecting butterflies, and there was every kind of butterfly, all elaborate stuff, like variations on each type too. Just tons of them. There's everything there. So we did that summer, and something, and probably summer after something, you have the fall of Saigon. And so then they had the Vietnamese family living in their basement. Okay. The wife and the kids. The dad was supposedly, he had to stay and go to prison because he's was in the army or something like that. All right, and so mom's there, and there's a room in the basement, the naughty room, and the dad has his Playboy magazines in it and whatever. Nothing really super. The naughty, and everyone's a naughty. I don't know, he's not in there that much anymore. Ooh, naughty. And I just started thinking, oh shit, man. No, that's the other thing, or they can just think that. Whatever. You can have the tunnel there, or not, or something. You have the mom who's a damn tunnel expert. Because what happened is, the Vietnamese mom, or they can think that, whatever the hell. It's like, so Vietnam, they ran it. It's not just like the Viet Cong with tunnels. It's the other guys have tunnels, and they're waiting. They're going to take the fall. The fall is going to be, and they're going to be in tunnels. Okay, they have tunnels. They do tunnel guys, and they're even friends with the other tunnel guys, or they work with it, and they torture them and work it, and come with me if you want to live, and they, and the place opened up in 10 years, whatever. So it's obvious, kind of in hindsight. And then you have the fall of Saigon, exactly like Afghanistan, which is they did the same shit there. Okay, and so you have, and guys like that POW flag, when it's like really, maybe you do have some Americans, but it's really all the Vietnamese guys, all the guys have to stay over there and go through it. It's like, and you think, oh man, they're such a bully, they torture people in the jungle and whatever, okay, but then when it's time, the ultimate, when you have to really get your payload, because it's not dysfunction, and you stay in there, you're the weak, and you have to be underground, or do whatever, your friendships and your different tunnels sneaking around. And so that's what happened. And so you got the mom coming over, maybe tunnel expert, maybe the kid's trained, so so you got the one kid, the boy, and then maybe a younger sister. Trained to be cool or whatever, but the mom probably knows all the technology and probably the best tunnel. Like, you need to translate tunnel from Vietnamese to English. Like, you got tunnel expert, you got tunnel. Go to tunnel college, or goddamn, just like, oh, we're going to crush your tunnel. Oh, we're going to recruit you to American Tunnel College out of the VC or whatever, or do our tunnel. Or hell, you can't even tell. Hell, let's just have a tunnel. We're not just tearing it up. We're all running around it. Or whatever, And that's what that'll be. And so Motherfuckers like gave it away too, like or someone like the tunnel. Okay, so me and my friend, probably was the mom was living in the basement. No, maybe it was right before. It was even the year before. So we collect butterflies out there, and it was like a year after that, and we're looking, we do the woods or something like that. It's like but these teenage kids started digging in the middle of that, one of the great big fields, digging like they're doing a fort or something. It's really weird, digging, and then they cover it, and they dig, and then they kind of left it, and we went, after a few days, we went and looked at it, lifted up, had metal sheeting, like roofing stuff on it and different stuff. This great big hole, and lifted up, and there's a great big hole. And I remember they came by again later or something. I said, "This is the coolest fort ever. This is the best fort ever." It's such one of those great things, like Dr. Strangelove. Okay, so they had that dug down there, and you could hang around in there, and like a nice hole with all the cover. It was the coolest thing ever. And then at the bottom of it is a sewer pipe that's and they had broken into it with that pickaxe, right? And you could get in there. Okay, you could get in the sewer pipe and run up and down the sewer pipe. And so and that was it's not storm drain. Pretty sure it's actual sewer. And so there's, so we see that, and there's not much hiding or hear of them. And we see them again, like some days later. Oh yeah, we'll talk about it again. Yeah, right. And some adult guy comes by once and is puttering, or he's looking at it. And we go up there, and he's Mr. Grumpy, I don't know, and we're kids. So those times, and then they're fucking listening. They probably do have enough recording stuff at my house still. Bugs and stuff, and see, I could talk to my mom about it, see what she says, or see if she says anything to my dad or anything like that. Because that's what that is. That's what they did. That's what they fucking did. Because, like, how the fuck am I hanging around with my friend? And his dad's, like, the military. His dad had been to Asia, I think. Had been something like that. MacArthur in a kimono. But actually, he's cool, though. He was cool, and then I get a lot of guilt about it. I get guilt about the dad, the alcoholic, because I think of him like later, like he sucks because like my dad is like actually my dad's mom turned against him, so that's what it was, and my dad's narcissistic personality disorder, so he's all alcoholic and all like that. He'd be like evil. But my friend's dad is like just all alcoholic, and at the base of it, you could trust him. He's like a thing. He's like a fucking guy, and it's a horrible thing, and I didn't really see that always. And I get this horrible guilt. Like one time he was singing, I think maybe sung it too. He was like playing on the piano. Memories like the corner of my mind. Da-da-da. I think he did sing it. Now at the time, I wasn't mocking it in my head. I thought it was kind of cool. Later I came maybe to, or maybe it's because I told my other friend, my brother's friend, what I had talked about, and then he got it, so it's like that. And that's actually really wrong. And they've been hanging out together. So my friend, with alcoholic dad, he had a type of schizophrenia that onset, like his senior year, went all crazy. And my brother's other friend had been hanging around with him and been stuck with him through it all, but then the family turned against him, doesn't like him. Thinks he sucks, and he's upset about it. Early, he's like playing something. There's something going on. And they're working a certain angle with it. The type of schizophrenia, it's like really more like a extreme autism. Well, it's got schiz. They'll call it schizophrenia, but there was a a girl that would come to the Hare Krishna temple in Boston. She said she was from the Scientology, so and she's trying to hang around. Or she was, and she had that affect. He has that same affect. It's the only people I've ever seen with that affect. She had that same affect. And so it's that same thing, so you guys can know. He had that covered, man. So, okay, so yes, they did that tunnel thing. See if we talk, and they had to run it like what? We find it. Okay, talk about tunnel to my mom, and like, cause a lot of them I just hanging around with Doug, or is that Doug and the dad or something? Is it in a tunnel? Is that a tunnel thing? Cause see, my mom comes from the her parents were living at the parachute school, the only like the first in the country. That was a civilian parachute school up in Orange, Massachusetts. They live right near that, and then we always see the parachutists. And that's those guys are all in with that thing, that military thing, whatever that is. Everyone there, and they so they're thinking my mom's got to be going with that, and it's something. And then here comes the Viet Cong CIA, the good CIA, Viet Cong. Up against the wall, motherfucker. Because that's what they had to do. See, look what you made me do. They had to like hide in tunnels. They had to have friends with a VC, stay in Vietnam, come around, hang around. That's why you have Tulsi Gabbard out in Hawaii. These things, you got to go to ground, like way, way deep. You know? And you can tell. God, man. So that was all that shit with the tunnel. Then one time I was, God, maybe I was 10 or something. There was a kid up the street. I went into his house. We started talking, and he was up on Skyline. If you're he'd be on the west side up there, maybe the fourth house down, or one of those. There's a bunch of those. One of them, the guy had the snake, and he limped. See, that's how you can tell it's good in the old days, because one guy had a great big boa constrictor, and he's like older. He's like being like getting old, like 20 or something when I was a kid or something like that. Or he's like, and he's wounded. He limped from his car crash. There was a bad car crash because they drive like a motherfucker there. My friend's brother died in a car crash. The nice one, the tunnel one, the Vietnamese family one with a basement. Okay, so not that house. There's some random kid up in there, some kind of human born. I go in his room and it was too contrived, man. He's like, here's what I do. I'm a nerd, and I have blueprints of all the city with all the tunnels. Yeah, maybe dad gets it for me. I have like all the waterworks, all the things. I have all the blueprints. I collect them from archives, and he like that's his little nerd thing, and he gets patted on the head, and he's a little nerd, and it's too weird because I know like these savant nerds, and that's more about created, and that's only at one time I was ever over there. So that's the big major. I'll every storm drain every motherfucker, and remember they had told my mom or my parents or my mom that the sewer it is the storm drains. No, the sewer system pipes. Wait. They go. There's like a manhole in our backyard, manhole cover, a big old thing, and because they had to get diverted around the other guy's property, Mr. Simon on the back, and they had to make a big deal. Tell my mom about that. So then see if she goes in the house and talks about tunnels. Or whatever. So there's that. And there's one other tunnel. What's the other tunnel thing? I can't remember right now. And I know the shit. I know they're doing the shit. Especially that thing digging. Because those teenagers, when they dug that and they're busy with it. And in the way they weren't possessive of it. And there's a certain thing. And they're just, it's out of whack. And it's too weird. Oh yeah, the other tunnel thing. It's out of whack. Okay, so years later, somehow they try to make us, friend to friend, you gotta go in the storm drains or whatever the hell. Because you go down to the creek near the YMCA and you go inside that one, just walk right in and go up, and it's nice. In other places it's smaller, but I said something about it to my mom, and she said it can be dangerous. That's not safe. You can't do that because can have sewer gas. It can have gases in it. So she just knew that. And I don't know if she knows her from coal mining or whatever, doing her work, because there's coal miners who she had to do their fussing over union things. But I don't know if she just said it. It was like kind of weird. Like out of place, but she didn't say anything more about it. It's like a weird trivia to have. And she acted like we're not doing it. Like she'd just say not, and we wouldn't. But it was also weird and compartmentalized because something's running. And running her and stuff by then. Because that's way after I was 12 or whatever. That was after I was 12. I was 12. So the town, that's what it is. Yeah, it goes to shit. And, the kid's just a year older than me, 2 years older, and they're cool. And it just goes bad. That whole generation coming up, or that, whatever you call it. And it's getting run. But the other thing, they'd be all like clannish in their sports and their whatever. But maybe you'd get drawn into it, like someone like me. With me, I get a face, it's like I've rejected from it. It's like there and I'm not in it. And otherwise it might be me, I get drawn into it. Because my friend's older brother was like that. It was weird, and like, because it's such a generational block we have, and he's just 2 grades ahead of me, 2 years older than me. He's when it's good, and then you have all the same kind of things, same kind of peer pressure and stuff, but it's like, God, it's like the whole thing had shifted. Like I would take someone as an absolute, and you'd be like, no, you come in, and people are in society, and they drugged them all up. They took that generation, just wiped them out with drugs, and fucked them up, drugs, alcohol, and shit. I got them all punked out. And yeah, CIA lady, can you believe it? That was her. She was putting insulation in our fucking attic. Retired CIA. Diane, in her dungarees, Her Royal Highness. It was, man. I always felt guilty too. That's one of the things that kept me, that binded me to like, oh my God, I owe her or something. Because like, I didn't help them at all up there. That shit, I didn't want to, God, I just get itchy thinking about it. Fiberglass is just horrible. So that's that, man. Oh God, so then it's like, so then she runs the thing with my brother's friend up around the block. You know, the MI6, like, even though they don't no, it's not one thing connects, but, God, my mom used to go to the basketball game with that kid's mom. Later, so they'd sit there and get seen. They'd be behind one of the baskets or whatever. And that was some fake shit, man. Every time, man. So they, I'm talking about my friend, my brother's friend here. Up on the other side of the block and up the block. Yeah, he was the thing. Because his dad is like, dad's name is Belmont. He moved away. He lived on Belmont Street in Belmont, Massachusetts, and there's a big Belmont fortune in the Saltonstalls, who go way back where their family, from before the witch trials. Then during the witch trial, actually, that, God, man, yeah, they fucked them over. Even though they lived, they stole all their shit, or fucked with them. Kept them in jail and shit. But, like, I blame Saltonstall because he skipped out. He did 2 trials and he skipped out. And they all knew. They knew that's MI6. That's my friend My friend Gary from out in Alston, he says Jack the Ripper. Isn't that weird? He says it's Jack the Ripper. One of these motherfuckers, like Collins. He'd say Collins. It's Jack the Ripper. Now I know it's in my 6. That's where it's coming from. He's like holding a seance, right? Intuiting. Damn. Yeah. Yeah, they did some fake stuff. Like, we're all... So, my brother and that friend were going through a naughty spell. They gotta go be naughty. So, I don't know, it's like 11 years old or something. They're naughty, or... I think. They're going through hardcore naughty, and I heard they're gonna pop a tire. Not just let the air out, but stick a little penknife in it. And that sounds horrible. Actually, the guy probably is in on it, too. I think that guy was able to steer it. And so I got around with them so they don't do anything bad. So we went and got in our trouble with a boo-boo. There's a cat named Boo-Boo, and the 2 old folks were out looking for it, going boo-boo, boo-boo with their flashlights. And so we were all dressed in black, and we were hiding in the bushes and in the shadows and saying boo-boo back to them. And we did that. Went on for a little bit. And we're supposed to be so naughty. And later on, we got in trouble because those people... The story is they knew his name, my friend's name. I mean, friend's own voice. Got him in trouble. Really, my friend just tells on it, or the mom will know, and then she tells my friend. Like, it's just run that good that they already know. Make up a story. And so so the mom came over with him, came to our house, and she brought the damn dog too, her dog. The one that died later got poisoned. And we picked ticks off the dog and the cats. Like our dog. God, I think it is. So that would be, after my brother has a dog. So picked ticks off the dog and put him in some soapy water and had a good talk. And we had our heartfelt talk and not be naughty. But that's like stupid. It's boo-boo. Like, we didn't do anything. Going boo-boo, the boo-boo thing. So it'd be so bad because they're making a fake-ass thing with it. Because they work it, because my brothers got molested. And they keep that tamped down and they work it a certain way. And they try to get that, and whatever was going on with my friend, because they run his ass. They run him. He's run by some shit. I think it was like this or that thing that's garbage. I know. And the next time, so we get some thread and we're going to go wrap around trees and go up so we get pick a house that's abandoned. No one's lived in there or driven up there for like months. It's just for sale and never, maybe it's just always for sale. No one ever goes there. So wrap around the trees. Then we're going up the street a little bit and you hear some yelling, something like that. Like someone had arrived and got hung up on the thread. Going across the driveway and you can't see it in the middle of the night. Okay, so we went up and we sat in the bush next to his house. And my brother's friend's house, me and my brother and my brother's friends, and we talked about, we're never going to be naughty again, we're not going to do anything ever again. And so then we got in trouble, like the story is that the guy had followed my friend's dog was loose and he followed him there and it led him right there and he's standing outside the bush listening, which is a lie. So my brother's friend might just go snitch straight out, or it might be the mom would come up with this stuff because she knows it's all getting run. But it ended up being a black guy. He came over to my house. He thinks it's all racist. So, hey, we're all the black family are going to come in. And really, it's fake. They had run that shit. They had put them there to do that. Later, it's like the shit they would do here, and it's so fucking obvious. And it's the craziest fucking thing. So I get my mom going with that, and then we've got to be so naughty and whatever. And but he told us he never did anything naughty after the boo-boo, and it's like, well, it won't now, and we didn't, because the boo-boo thing was stupid. You need to have some naughty to not be naughty again. The boo-boo thing wasn't actually naughty. He's putting the thread around, maybe. No. Jesus Christ, man. It wasn't like someone's supposed to come home at night and walk into threat. Oh, and the wife's supposed to be pregnant too. And they're faking, man. They're fake. And oh, it's horrible. Maybe my mom's in on it too. Because the guy just showed up, and I stayed in my room, and I didn't know. I thought, oh my God, is that some naughty thing? Oh, and then later, I said, Mom, I asked my mom, what was that? She said, oh, you know what that is. That's some fake. My mom's in on it on some level, some emotional level. It's fucked up. And so they fucking orchestrated that shit. They ran that whole fucking thing, even choosing the house, everything, because my brother's friend kind of getting that going. Like, I wouldn't know. He does it. Shit. And so later, my friend's dad shows up. He only sees him once every 3 years or something, or a year. That guy's gone to foreign countries, I think. But he's okay. And then he said to me, I heard you got some you get him in trouble. There's a little junior got it, you know, because I'm 3 years older, like, you're bad, you're making him delinquent. And he just said it all of a sudden, and angry. And I said, no, not really, I don't know. No, it's not, because it's not that. It's kind of the opposite, actually. And then he doesn't say anything. And it's a fake, because he had to say it. It's like a press thing. And it's weird, because and I remember it, because he's faking it. It was all fake. He knows that I actually ran it on me and shit. Okay, me and my brother. And, okay, so that guy, see if I get it right. That guy's actually implicated and run. That guy will actually be worked. The thing like they do now with the FBI and whatever, the naughty list. He's actually got real naughty list. It's like that. Maybe the garbage CIA MI6 works him, but they work him on the naughty list. Okay, official naughty list, or you could always ask someone, or if it had to be like, yes, that's naughty list that, and I work a little bit around, right? And they probably did the family like that. Wherever the money went, $500 million. They had the mansions, probably all Potemkin Village. So it's like that. See if that's right, because I think it is. It reminds me of stuff too. I should know what I'm saying. And then, because I think it is. Because all this other shit doesn't get run like that. It gets run with it, like every other kind of way. But that's actually, you know, like a naughty cooperating witness, not Mr. Naughty guy. Which is not necessarily common, or wasn't then. I think. Yeah. I think they went to another country, somewhere with wild dogs. Maybe it was in America, but I heard stories. It was somewhere out west. Sounded like Australia, but I don't know. Or it's just like remembering stories. But yeah. Yeah, that is all that shit. Yeah. Yeah, when I figured it out, like I had a dream. That dream I said I had with Dan Shepard. And he gave me a tree, a palm tree that was also a fruit tree that could bear fruit and grow up there. And then facing, you know, there's the water tower, then the old fruit trees that are defunct and all that nice area. Facing that. We're sitting there looking across the road at all that, and, you know, yeah, they got the whole thing. Everything's watched. All the, and then counter watched. Like one side watches the other. It's like spy, counter spy. It's old Cold War university and all that area. And by the time I was growing up, it was kind of defunct and abandoned, and we're all fucked up. You know, the shit. I guess I have to go and do other shit. It's just the university going to shit. Like, gotta let the cat in. Come on, kitty, kitty. Look at me here. There. Yes, I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about, God, man, it is. A good friend with a Vietnamese family in the basement. He used to read all the old Archie comic books. He had the hundreds of them collected for those years from his older brother and sister. That was a thing. So that's an interesting thing. And his older sister had the horse. And the horse, like, we go down there, Duke. They took care of him. Jeez. We took him and rode him out, opened the fence up, or rode him around, went way up, went crazy. Oh wait. Yeah, and then the guy comes, and he knows, maybe a couple horses. And we're like, yeah, the horse got loose somehow. And then he doesn't even say we did it. He knows we did it. And he's like, they're putting up with it. And they're going to go clean up after it. After me and my friend go ride the horse around. God, that is so fucking cool. That whole area. God, those woods and then those abandoned barns. One of them burned down. Way off. That whole creek. Yes, that's what that is. Yeah, because they're bringing stuff in. When I was like, first came to Carbondale, they're fucking it up. Because that pediatrician, Dr. Smith, came in. He was just brand new then. Like, I was one of his first patients. I brought him in. And, yeah. And brought him to our open house. I'd already gone to him once. It's a weird thing. It's kind of cool because it shows. Like, he just sat there and drank alcohol, like I said, and got into his, like, mode, like his dejected teenager or serious, like I don't know, what is it? Trying to do Jim Morrison by himself, but he's not hip. So maybe they wouldn't do him with other parties or something. Because it was odd, but he's not like being creeping or weird. He's no social scam. It's all about the doctor and his office. And he has these pressures. He does this weird shit and says all this shit. They probably make him do it too. They probably tell him to do that, just fucking on purpose. He's made to go fucking fuck shit up. Go fuck me up. Go like, oh my God. One time he said, let's see how well hung you are. Like he said, yeah. Yeah, and that's on purpose. That's not even just his quirk. And that's why I get so fucked up from him, because he's like pressured. Like his chair that creaks. Any kind of a chair on wheels that goes around and that creaks, and when you have to lean it backward and forward, that gets me all triggered and shit. He'll smell like shit mixed with soap. That was on purpose, wasn't it? Just smiled. There's no way. Oh my fucking God, that's it, man. I was trying to figure that out before. Just slight. Oh shit, right? Slight shit mixed with soap. Oh my fucking God, man. And that's their MI6 bullshit. And he was in on the shit with the tularemia and everything. He's always have to look at you right. I gotta pick your asshole. The bathroom transportation. Like, I used to think that's what a doctor was. You have to go do that. I didn't go to a doctor until I was like 35 years old. After all that shit, he fucked me up too. But see, they can't run me gay. Like, I freak out. I'm not hiding in the woods or I'm something. They gotta run it. They gotta break me with other shit. They get me off a day late, $1 short. Get me off track with the chicks. And it's easy to do too. It's not like they wreck the chicks or they run them, they work them. You know, so anything I'm around, any environment is gonna be. I've been like they're gonna have gone on it, dogged it like before I get to it, pretty much. And they can run the other shit, and maybe even like they want me to have a girlfriend because I was like fucking away from. I stayed away from that shit. Like everything. God, I just fucking knew. It's getting run. Hostile alien intelligence power. I always hated these motherfuckers. I always hated my uncle. I'll get to that in a second. Yeah, so... Damn, during the divorce time, my dad has to talk to my mom. They sent my grandparents, his parents, down to stay with us at Christmas, and they're doing all that. It's a scam. And there's my uncle running that shit. So he is CIA. Actual CIA, I think. Damn. LB too. The bullshit. God, man. Yeah. Yeah, they're running all that. I wonder where, if Paul Simon, if he's dirty. What about John Eckert, the mayor, that then went back to fucking Texas, back to Austin or whatever the fuck he does, right? He's gotta be dirty, right? Like the drugstore, it was like a fucking CVS. All by itself, like all fancy, everything's there, everyone's friendly and stuff. And they had all the comic books and all the magazines. And then if you think about it, and a certain attitude with it. Like none of us kids, I guess they could tell if anyone's gonna steal anything or you could work it out, or that's just more intelligence info and whatever, right? And we wouldn't even think like that. But what I'm thinking though, if it's on the shelf and then you have to return it, but you don't get full money. But if you're kind of like one in the same with the publisher, like you'd have a certain relaxedness about it, right? Oh, you stocked up too much, you did it, or however we do it, or maybe someone should swipe it and they're naughty and you can, aren't you like, how do you feel about me when you come in my store and I love you, don't you always feel like you owe me or something? If it would be that, right? Or, trade from one place to another, but because they had really nice stuff there and it's like laid out, and I don't think there's a lot of, and it just makes me think, like, because if you're actually the publisher, then it's like, oh, each thing is like, if it disappeared or got wrecked, it's just the replacement cost isn't very much. But it's hard, so if you're actually that same entity, you're just relaxed about it, right? You had to go through all the trouble publishing, whatever. Now it's just relax, you try to get money off it, but it might be all these other angles and shit. And so if he's like in that whole faction, that'd be the news media and all the You know, like Time magazine. Wasn't Time Life, or was it just Time? Like Whittaker Chambers was working for Time, right? When he's a communist the whole time. And he's gonna say Alger Hiss is a fucking communist. And the motherfucker's a communist the whole fucking time there. Then coming out. And that's all the bullshit. That's all the Eisenhower, MacArthur. Alger Hiss is probably innocent, pretty much. It's kind of weird, because like, how do they know he did it? It's like, because he denies even knowing the fucking guy. So it's like that level. Okay. So that gets kind of weird, right? And why have to deny it? And in the way they get him in trouble, like they say he lied, in a civil case, and put him in jail for a while. It's all the fucking hokey, fake shit they do now. And just to fuck everyone up. And there's probably all this back channel stuff anyway. They negotiate back channel, and it's all kinds of stuff. And it would just be the same spying here. You can't, if you had to explain it. And that's these other motherfuckers do. Except that's what after Khrushchev, and they fucking betray everything, and like that whole the Soviet Union turned, all the scumbags come out of the woodwork. Yeah, they were thinking something, man. Those kids digging that out in the field, digging up that hole, and then that fucking guy has to come around. It's not just one side. There's things, man. They had to break into that sewer pipe. It's like weird. How are the kids gonna know it's a sewer pipe there, or were they just digging? They happen to find it. That's what I used to think, and you break into that, and just go away after that, and it's just some weird shit. It makes sense. To talk. Yeah, that's what it is. They know fucking everything, man. They know everyone. They come and go out of their house, everything. Back then, that place was tracked, man. That's a Cold War university town. And the thing is, then, oh man, you can see Graham. Well, yeah, like, because it's not like, they don't snitch or something. It's MI6 and CIA, military intelligence, factions, and it's not like they're trying to do that thing. There is that part. Shit, man. I used to, so they burned down the old main building, the university building in Carbondale, Southern Illinois University. Was it 1970 or something? It just burned down, and everyone had to haul the books and papers out of it. The ROTC was upstairs, gun range. I used to think, oh, they're the shitheads, or they're raping, and they do something. It could be they're getting their shit burned out, and so everyone gets to run in and pick through, right? They get their ROTC. It's supposed to be their like little shooting range in there, maybe with their 22s or something. It goes down the attic or whatever, the big old thing, or whatever. However they do it, it was up there. They said, or I read once, in some ROTC, and probably all this, God knows what, fake out, mix things, and they get to just take a grab at it. So they took all that Main Street, old main building, put all the hauled it over to those fields and that stuff up near Stinkfish Pond, like McClafferty Pond, out past McClafferty Road. So I used to always get, so when we were kids, we'd see all the old stones and the tiles and stuff going up there. You got to go over this fence to get there. And it's real woods, or like sticker branch bushes and stuff. And I would get dreams. I would always get recurring dreams. Like 10 years ago or something about, like it was the Mayans. It was like the Mayan ruins where I went to, in Aztecs and Mayans down in Mexico. And they had all the fancy stuff there, all around those hills. And probably inspired by those, all the stones and stuff. We used to play with them. But there is stuff. He used to have a big civilization, the corn civilization, and it collapsed a long time ago on the Mississippi River up north. So then you come down south, and you're between the Mississippi and the Ohio. So you get the corn civilization. It's like the fucking Mayans in North America, like massive thing until it collapses because of the weather or the insects that eat it. It's weird. There's not like it wasn't any civilization left. It was just probably is the pests. It's not just the weather got a little. You saw a little more season too. It's coming off the ice age. Or, no, how did that work? No, I had a warmer time. And so you can tell, like, where I was. If I applied myself, I could find arrowheads. I realized when I went to the creek, the rocks that are a certain size, and I kept looking through them. They're the right shape and size, and they tend to conglomerate, and then I would find arrowheads. And the big things too, these giant points. Maybe that's for buffalo. But for spears, whatever. But yeah, I'd get the dreams about the civilization, but that's like actually getting away from those guys. Get those hills, those guys can never get you. Get up and around there in different places, probably different caves and different stuff. And then run through these woods, go from one river to the other, and then get and up the doodads and go into the creeks, and so you could be next to civilization without having to be a slave to it. You'd be up there, with all the cattle going through, all the buffalo going through. Probably. Yeah.